Oh, hey YouTube, what's going on? Didn't see you there. Just kidding, definitely did. Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Razzles again, and I'm coming at you with another MX Bikes for Beginners video. I got a lot of good feedback on the first one, so I figured I would go in and make a second one for you guys and talk more in depth about some more things that might be helpful. Um, Going off of some of the comments, I figured, you know what, I might as well make another video on some more in-depth things. So for this video, we're going to talk about how literally simple it is to put mods in this game. So now that you've figured out your turning, and I imagine you're starting to adjust, whether or not you want to turn more or less, we'll talk about how you put mods in the game because I know that's what everybody wants to do. Now, me coming from an Xbox, I've never put mods into a game ever. So, I didn't know how. And watching some of the videos online, it was like, whoa, like, hey, I've never done that before, so I don't really know what you're doing, and I don't know what you mean by doing that. So I'm gonna make it like kind of really simple for you guys and show you exactly what you need, and I'll do it nice and slow, so that way you guys can pause the video and it'll be easy to comprehend. So we'll start off with that, and then we'll talk more about some of the other things that we're gonna do in game to improve your riding and MX bikes. So let's get into it. All right, guys. So the first thing that you need to do whenever you're trying to put mods on MX bikes. Now, for example, if you're one of those dudes who just got a PC, you don't have everything downloaded that you need or that you think you need. So you're like, man, what do I need to download? Is this as simple as going to a website? Well, kind of. But the first thing that you need to do is you need to open up your web browser and you need to download WinRAR. All you do is type in WinRAR in the tab right there, and it comes up to this WinRAR download. It should look like this. It's like a stack of books with like a belt holding them together. Download that, do the installation, and then that's it. That's literally it. That's all you need for that portion. Now, to explain to you what WinRAR actually is, I don't know exactly because I'm still new to the PC thing, but it's like it takes the files and it makes and extracts them and makes them be able to be put into a video game. So, for example, MX Sim, MX Bikes. So you need WinRAR, and it's safe. I haven't had any problems with it. I mean, I imagine there's always some security issues, but this is the thing that you need. It's super easy. Like literally, you download it, and like you don't have to ever touch it again. And then whenever you download things like, for example, that go into MX Bikes, the images look like this stack of books right here. So that's the first thing you need. Once you're done with that and you've installed WinRAR, now you need to locate your MX Bikes file. So you go down and you click on your file explorer tab and you hit documents. Now when you come to documents, it's probably going to have a bunch of these things, right? The one you're looking for is this one right here. It says PiBoSo. Capital P, lowercase I, Boso. I don't know if that's how you say it, but apparently those are the guys who made the game. So that's the one you want. And you have to go to documents. You can't like make a shortcut folder like this is just don't make any shortcuts. Go straight to your file explorer, straight to documents, and then straight into here to PiBoSo. All right, so now we're in the PiBoSo folder. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown on what everything looks like inside the folder, so that way it's easier for you guys to understand. So whenever you click open the PiBoSo folder, it's going to say MX Bikes. Double click that open, and then it says mods, profiles, global, and then max HUD. That's something you don't have to worry about that. Maybe I'll get to that in another video, but don't worry about that for now. So you go to mods, and here's where all your mods go. You have bikes, rider, tracks, tires. Don't worry about tires right now because that's something that is just not compatible with the game if you're trying to play with buddies. If you're just playing by yourself, then you can download tires if you want. So I'm going to show you how to get all the OEM bikes. So whenever I click on bikes right here, it goes to all of the newer or the newest style of bikes. So that way you can get all of the most updated stuff, and you can pretty much get the gear and rider and graphics on any bike that you want. So let's get going, and I'll show you how to get all these in there right now. All right, so we're back at the Google Chrome homepage. You don't have to use this, but I suggest it. It just makes it easier. Now, to get the OEM bikes, what you're going to do is you're going to type up in the bar right here, you're going to type MX Bikes OEM Master Thread 2020. That might be a little, a little more descriptive than it needs to be, but it 100% found me the forum. You're going to click on the very first one right here, how it says 11, says 11/11/2020. That is the most updated one. And you're going to click on this. It's going to go to the forums. Once you click on that, it comes to the MX Spikes forums where the master thread where it says 11/11/2020 OEM v15.1. That is the right one. That is the one you need right now. You won't even be able to join games with your friends if they have the other OEM packs. So make sure you download these ones because it has like the new 2021 Honda in it, etc. So scrolling down right here, it says installation instructions. You can follow this to a T. I will show you directly actually right now, so it's a little bit easier. So since you're new to this and you don't already have the OEM bikes in, you won't have to follow all this where it says delete the previous OEM bikes in the pack because you don't have any. You're not going to have any bikes in there. So you're going to go to the download link right here in the second one. There's Mega NZ, and then there's MediaFire. Either one works. I like using the MediaFire one because it's really easy. You click download and it starts downloading and it comes to the 15 full, right? Now I'm going to cancel this one because I already have the pack, so I'm not going to worry about that. So I'm going to minimize this screen and I'll show you what it looks like. So it's going to say OEM v0.15.1 full. That's the one you want. And when you double click it open, all of these pop up, right? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to close this out. I slide this right here, and then we're going to open up PiBoSo folder, right? Okay. So this is the MX Bikes PiBoSo folder right here, the left one. I clicked on PiBoSo. You click on MX Bikes, mods, bikes, and then all of them are right in here. And what you do is you take all of these, starting with the MX, I think that's the 350, they're the service Honda, or the CR500. You go all the way down, copy them, and then you just drag them into the folder. Now I'm not going to do it right now because I already have all of them in there, but you'll drag them in there. It's going to replace the, or it's going to take the files from this one over to that one, and then boom, you have all the OEM bikes in. And then if that's all you want to do, if you just want to ride stock OEM bikes, you can run the game right now and boom, you're in. So that's how you get the OEM bikes in the game. I'm going to go ahead and go back to just this mods phase. And then I'll do one more mod for you guys just to give you a little bit more of an explanation of how to do it. So, all right. So now that we're done with the bikes and you have all the bikes in there and you want to get graphics on there, right? My suggestion on where to get graphics is this: if you go to the Google homepage right here and you just type MX bikes mods, hit enter. The very first one, mxb-mods.com, comes up. Click on that. You can come, and this has all of the mods in the game that you could ask for. Not all of them, but a very good majority of them. So you come right here, you click bikes. Now you have all the OEM bikes, right? And you want to put graphics on it. So you come down to liveries. There's team liveries, and there's all the different liveries for, Suzuki, Honda, Husky, MSM, whatever you want, there's here. So let's just say clicking on liveries. This triangle cycles YZF actually is pretty sweet, so I'm actually going to pick this one. Yeah, so I like this one. Looks kind of cool to me. Triangle cycles looks pretty cool. Hopefully it doesn't have the numbers already on it, but we'll see. So you click on that, you come down to the link, and you click download. It's going to start downloading right here. Once that's finished, you can open up your PiBoSo folder, and you can go to bikes again. And then you scroll. After you get to bikes, you scroll to that bike that it's going on. So I'm going to put this on the YZ250 and 450. I believe that's what it said it was for. Yeah, so YZ250 or 450. So it's public for both. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. See, the download is right down here in the bottom left corner. I'm going to scroll to the Yamaha YZ450 2020. You double click it, and then it's going to show paints. Double click paints and see how this folder is empty. You're going to take the triangle site. I knew that was going to happen. So we'll minimize this. We'll take the triangle cycles and we'll just slide it into the paints folder on that YZ450. And it's boom. Now you have a graphic in there. And now I'm going to do the same thing for the 250. So I'm going to scroll down. I don't see the 250F anywhere yet. Keep scrolling down. 2020 Yamaha YZ 250F. Go to paints again. You have the Star Yamaha in there. I'm also going to take this Triangle Cycles and boom. Now they're both in there. And just like that, you put all the OEM bikes in the game and you have the graphics in there. So now let's head over to the game and make sure that it worked. All right, so we just loaded into the game right now. As you can see, I have all my graphics on here for my team and all the stuff that my buddy Madcap did. He did an awesome job of putting all the sponsors on for our State Line Honda Red Bull team. It looks sick, which shows you all of the things that you can do to this game. It's actually pretty amazing. So we're gonna click on bike, and then we're on the MX OEM or MX1 OEM. If this doesn't pop up, then you put them in wrong. It has to say OEM. If it doesn't, then that means you don't have them in there right, or you might have put them in the wrong folder. So when you click that, then you come to bike. I put the Yamaha mod in, so I'm going to click the Yamaha. See how it's currently stock. There's nothing on it. And then you go to paint. When I go to paint, put the Triangle Cycles on, and boom. Now I have the Triangle Cycles Yamaha on my bike. Let me get rid of myself real quick so that way you can see it. And there, as you can see, they have the Triangle Cycles Yamaha on that bike, and it looks really rad. And that's how you put the mods in the game. So if you have any other questions about that, please leave me a comment down below, and I can give you more information on that. And then maybe we can link up on Instagram so I can message you directly to coach you through it better. I know I did kind of a shitty job with this, but there's definitely more to it. All right, guys, so you guys just got your OEM bikes in. You put some graphics on it if you wanted to, or you downloaded some other mods or whatever, and you got a new track. So this track that I'm going to be showcasing a few more things that might help you guys as beginners is called the Baja Brawl. Very sweet updated version of the Baja Acres track, and it's very sick. Probably one of my favorite rendition tracks on the entire game, so I suggest downloading that one. So we're going to go into talking about rider positioning whenever you're riding. So on a lot of tracks, everybody thinks, oh, I need to be standing up all the time because of bumps and braking bumps or whatever. It seems more realistic, but unfortunately in this game, sitting down is it's kind of it's the move. It's how you get through corners. It's how you do everything pretty much depending on your setup, and it kind of sucks, but so I've always told people that are coming into the game and trying to teach them that sitting to standing ratio is probably a good, I don't know, 70, maybe 80% to 20%. So 80% sitting and then 20% standing. And what I mean by that is I'll show you here in a second. So if we get into a little bit of gameplay. All right, so we're gonna go into a little bit of gameplay here, and as you can see, I'm currently sitting down right now. Now on my controller, I have it set up to be standing and sitting as my right stick. I click it in, and I stand up, and I click it in again, and I sit back down. I found that's the easiest way for me because I always ride. I do the double stick riding, and it just makes it easier. So whenever you're coming up to a jump, you're sitting down, and as soon as you jump, you stand up if you want to make sure that you keep it good. Going right back to sitting down, I blew that corner. I'm pretty much going to stay sitting all the way through here. So I'm going to stay sitting even though there's all these braking bumps right here. Pretty much just going to stay sitting the entire time I'm riding all the way until about right here. Then I'm going to keep sitting, and then I'm going to stand up the face. Stay standing when I land, sit back down for the corner, rip the corner, get a couple whoops in, stand up. Then I'm going to sit back down right here. That's probably the bad time to sit back down, but you get the gist. Stay sitting all the way through here, rip it, and then stand up on the face to get that seat bounce. I'm going to stay standing through these jumps, and then I'm going to sit back down, turn in, sitting all the way right here, and standing to make sure I get the speed over this step up right here, and then I'm going to sit back down for this corner. So if you don't sit, I'll show you what it's like when you don't sit. So I'm sitting right here. I'm going to stand for the jumps and for hard impacts, so like right here. I'm going to sit back down for the corner, stay sitting, stand up because I know I'm going to impact hard. See how I stood up a little too late? It's all about timing in this game. All right, so we talked about standing and sitting. I know I didn't do a really good job of explaining it, but the best way I could explain that is that When you're standing up going slow, you get the wobbles. You get kind of crazy. And I'll actually show you right now what I mean by that. So I'm going to stand and say I'm going really slow and I just get up. When I start turning, see how it gets all floppy? Not too bad, but it's kind of iffy. So if I'm trying to hit this corner standing up, it doesn't really turn as much. It's just a little sketchy, but if you sit down, you get a little bit more control of the bike. And you get the rip corners pretty good. And then I always stand up on these because if not, they'll kick you. I'm in 4th gear. So leaning back, standing, and then sit for the corners. You always want to sit for the corners because if you sit for the corners, it really like leans the bike over. All right, guys, so we showed you how to put some mods into the game, and then we talked about standing and sitting a little bit. Now, I know I didn't do a really good job of explaining it. It's kind of hard to explain it without actually like riding with you and being in the game with you and explaining like, hey, like this corner, I'm taking it nice and slow, or this corner, I'm not. So the one other thing that I want to talk about in this episode before we close out, and I'm at the end of this episode, I'm just going to run a couple laps so that way you can kind of see some gameplay and decide, you know, if my setup is something that you want to keep going towards or if you want to try something completely different. But one last thing I want to talk about right now is leaning in the corners. Now, a lot of people on the milestone games, they think that leaning with both sticks the same direction is going to lean you in more and you're going to get more, more traction or whatever. Well, in this case, it's actually the opposite. And what I mean by that is when you're going through a corner, you want to lean to the outside. If it's a sharp corner, if it's a corner where it's not as steep as a rut or whatever, it really depends on the turn. You want to lean to the outside, and what I mean by that is it's like weighting the outside foot in real life. When riders go through corners in real life, they're always told to put as much pressure on the outside foot peg to be able to get as much traction as possible. Excuse me, as much traction as possible, so that way they can rail the corner and use the knobbies in their tire effectively, all while rolling on the throttle nice and easy, which is exactly what you got to do in this game because the cornering is pretty realistic in this game. You still get the dumb like elbow catches off of the inside of ruts and stuff and go down, but hey, it's what else could you ask for? So I'll show you a couple of examples of that in this inside rut right here that I'm about to hit. I will show you what I mean. All right, so we're set up for this corner right here. Coming into it, I'm riding about 3rd gear, so I'm going to lean to the outside and see how my rider kind of weights the outside, and he really turned in. When you're weighting the outside peg, I'll do it again right here. When you're weighting the outside peg, he turns in and he kind of leans the bike down. And what that does is it kind of helps you turn sharper and gets you that more traction or whatever. So like right here, I just stood up. I didn't want to do that. So it's all about the standing timing. But it's just like a few things that you really need to like finicky. So like I weighted the outside foot when I entered that right there, and I stopped, and you see how he started sliding out. So I started waiting, and I let off, and he started sliding out, and I never fixed it, and never corrected it. Stayed on the throttle, and I reaped the, I got destroyed for it. So, it's all about finding the right balance in this game and making sure that you guys are able to corner effectively. So right now I'm rolling on the throttle. I'm not slamming on it. You see how I sat down midair right there and it kind of whipped me around? Standing and sitting in this game is one of the most important things that you need to learn. So I'm going to stand right on the face, leaning into it, getting on the throttle, using the centrifugal force of my rear end to bring me around, staying standing through the rough sections, and then sitting down for this corner, which I have the erode on, so it's pretty gnarly. I'm going to stand going up this, stay standing, sit back down, weight the outside foot right there, and I missed this inside line, so I'm not going to weight the outside foot right there. Come through, stand, and then, yeah, that's just kind of the general gist of it. Now, I know I'm not really making it look easy, but I've played it enough wherever I can see the differences it makes in the outside foot peg. So when you weight the outside foot, it gives you that more traction and it turns you in more. Now, you don't want to do it every single corner. And the one thing you don't want to do, well, I mean, I guess you could do it if it's a sweeper, is you don't want to lean into the turn because it pushes your rider up, picks the bike up, and leans you in. Whereas if you push the bike down and weight the outside foot peg, you're going to turn sharper. It's similar to real life, I guess, if you would say. Just in this game, it's a little finicky, and you got to work with it and try it out yourself. So with that being said, I'm gonna remove my face from the screen a little bit and do a few laps for you guys, and then we'll close out this video. So thanks for sticking around, guys, and check out these few laps here at the Baja Brawl on a CRF 450. All right. Well, with that being said, as you can see, I can't even make it a full lap. So you shouldn't get frustrated if you can't make it a full lap, because this game's tough. I was pushing way too hard right there, trying to impress you guys, and I completely wadded myself twice. The one time was a little bogus, I would say. So anyways, guys, hey, I hope this video was helpful. And if it wasn't, I hope that at least you enjoyed watching it, because I had fun making it. Every single time that I play MX bikes, I have fun. Sometimes the crashing can get really on your nerves when you're riding a 450, so I suggest riding the 250. But in the end, it's really all about just being patient, finding the settings that you like for this game, and sticking with it. So with that being said, guys, I really do appreciate you guys sticking through right here, and let me know in the comments if this helps you or what else you want to see, because I will gladly make the next video on it. Other than that, have fun, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.